Hello, Eileen, back with you again. As promised, I'm going to show you how I created this very quick Christmas card using a beautiful stencil designed by Emma Cronin for Sweet Poppy Stencils. It's so versatile and I think it's absolutely great. And I've got a few more examples to show you at the end of this demonstration. But for the moment, this is what I'm going to show you, and let's get going. I've got my homemade stencil board with a magnetic sheet, self-adhesive, stuck to it, and a piece of copy paper, the stencil, which is going onto a piece of Paper Mill Direct Super Smooth, 300 GSM, nice, takes the ink very well. And I'm just leaving a border all the way around the outside and then down onto the magnetic sheet, and it grips really well. This was an idea by my friend Zoe Russell, and I use it loads. The tape is not to stick it down, it's just to protect the cardstock around the edges from the ink. Because I know what will happen, I'll get it everywhere. Using far too much, that's wasteful. And that isn't enough. Get a grip, Eileen. Yeah, right, okay. So, makeup brushes, 2 of them. Colours, Ice Spruce, Wild Honey. This is a fairly dry pad, more about that in a moment. This is very wet. Got to be careful of this colour, could overload. Now, Ice Spruce, along with one of the makeup brushes, and although it's a fairly dry pad, I'm still taking it off because I want to keep the colour quite subtle. I want the image to really be the main feature, and the colour to not overpower it. Just putting Ice Spruce all the way over, going in one direction, and then over this side, so it colours the ribbon. Yep. And then I want to come down through the bauble. Just checking that I've got all the colours in. I don't want to overdo this. Don't want to make it too dark. I just want a nice soft, subtle colour. And round, and then coming down from the top. Like so. But avoiding the middle as much as you can. You know, don't worry about if you get some ink in there. It doesn't matter. I think that should do it. Okay, so taking now Wild Honey, and I told you this is a really wet pad, so I need to take off a lot of the ink. And then with a really loose wrist action, I'm just letting the brush float over the top of the cardstock, not grinding it in. I'm not really brushing it in. I'm just allowing it to float over the top, so it gives me the colour, but it doesn't overpower and get too dark. That will do. And I want a little bit more there, just on the side of the ribbon, just to add interest and a bit of contrast. That will do. Okay, let's have a look. Now, fingers crossed that there's no leakage of the ink under the stencil, because if it's leaked, you have to start again. Take those off. Lift up the copy paper, and that releases the card. No leakage, that's good. So pop that. Stencil in water. Mind your fingers, they're really sharp, these metal stencils. Use a brush to clean them, not your fingers. Pop that down there. And now I'm going to stamp. And this stamp is, as I've already said, it's Stampscape Stamps. And they have a subsidiary here in the UK. So it's Stampscape Stamps UK. And the number of this one is 344 Echo. That's 344E. They do different sizes in this. And I think that the letter donates the size that you're going to get. And this is, I think this is the smallest. And it's called Bayou Shack. And it's really nice. I think that's how you pronounce it. The Bayou Shack. Bayou Shack. Yeah. So, lovely image. You can, of course, use your stamp press. I'm going to be brave, and I'm going to use my stamp pad. And I am being brave because you can't see through these stamps, and not, you know, easy to stamp with, because you've got no idea where the image actually is. You sort of have to guess. That's part of the fun, though, isn't it? Gentle tapping with Versifying Clair Nocturne. It's a detailed stamp, needs a nice fluid ink, and this is a nice fluid ink. Okay, that should do it. Now, fingers crossed that I get it straight. Okay, down goes the stamp. Let the ink soak into the cardstock. Incidentally, the coloured ink that you've used, the distress ink, that alters slightly as it settles and sinks into your cardstock, and you will find it will, one, smooth out a little bit, and two, it will get a little more vivid with this cardstock. Right, and that's lovely. I'm happy with that. Beautiful image. Pop that there. Then finally, I'm going to show you another couple that I've done using different stamps. But I have got, but I don't know what I've done with it. I've got a card blank somewhere, but I'll show you this one. I had another piece of card that I've cut as a card blank, and all I've done is to put foam pads on the back of the topper, and then got the card blank. Same Paper Mill Direct Super Smooth, and just cut it a little bit larger so that you've got some borders around. Pop the foam pads on, and then into the middle. Done. And I do like it like that. Nice and white everywhere. I'm into white space big time. Okay, so that's what I've just done. No more to do to that one, apart from laying it onto the card blank. But I did this one as well. And this one, I must be careful because that might not be dry. This one uses another Stampscape stamp. Can't remember the name of it, but the number is 048E Echo. So that's 048E. And that's in the middle of this one. I mean, it's great. This bauble is not huge, but it's big enough to make quite an impact with whatever image you want to put in the middle. I love it. I can see so much potential for it. And it's quick, you know, this is so quick to do. As always, a bonus. Now that, and this card, I was trying to remember the colours that I'd used. Oh yes, speckled egg along with tattered rose. Yeah, tattered rose and speckled egg for this one. And then finally I've done another one. Oh, and I've got that all wet. Ah, laid a damp cloth on it. Oh well, you're not seeing that. Finally, this one I did. I'm not doing it all again. I did this one with Lavinia stamp Christmas tree. And the colours I use for that is picked raspberry and speckled egg again. And I'm not going to show you the wet cloth that I laid over the top of that accidentally. Let's get rid of that one out of the way. What do you reckon? I think they're really pretty. And take next to no time. Thank you for all your interest. Thank you for looking today. And I'll be back on Saturday with another Lavinia stamps demonstration. Not sure what I'm doing yet, but I'll try and find something interesting. Have a good week. Bye for now.